Jessica Rose.
Good morning, Erika.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm good.
What's
been a
going
minute.
on? I know. Did you miss me?
I did. Actually, I did miss just doing this. Yeah. I had fun doing
Jessica
this.
Rose missed me.
I get told so often how much people like love this segment.
Well, that's so fun.
Yeah.
Like strangers?
Like, no, people that come here. People are like, oh my gosh, we listen to like the podcast all the time and like we love your and Erika segment. I'm like,
that's so cute.
I know, it's nice.
Well, what are we doing?
So you have a wild week. It's really wild. So Monday.
Tired.
I know. Monday you have the people from Design Port coming to your house.
I'm seeing the Design Port ladies. Okay, that's gonna be exciting. I gotta get ready for that.
So they're gonna like come and
we're gonna film it.
Do the
that's
whole
gonna be great.
Like walk through tour.
Yep.
You have a product check-in. We have the weekly.
Can you check if we need that product check-in?
Yes.
Just in light of the like roadmap stuff.
Oh, sure.
If we need it, great. If we don't, I'll buy the time back.
Okay. I was gonna say, yeah, we have a bunch happening that day too, so that we can have the time back. So we're gonna do a meeting about at home at work, which is happening on August 5th.
Big event, August 5th.
Mm-hmm. So that's coming. I think we're like sold out.
We are?
There was 2 tickets yesterday.
What?
Yeah.
Can we add more people?
I think so. I have to talk to them because I think it only holds like 180 people, maybe.
We cannot be sold out.
We are. I swear. No, I swear.
We had like 76 people.
I don't know. Like that, there was 2 tickets left on the thing. Parrish told me.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's add more.
I'll talk to them. We'll see. We can talk about that on Monday too.
Okay. I'm very excited for At Home at Work.
Yes.
Meg had a genius idea. So can I just interrupt our segment
for
a second? Okay, so I have this very bad habit when I'm on an airplane. I really like to work. So the flight from Portland to New York City is 5.5 hours.
I was tweaking out the whole time.
Everybody else is like playing poker, watching movies, I don't know, on TikTok. I'm like, I'm going to jam out some work. But I'm self-aware enough to know that it creates anxiety for people and it can be too much and it's a lot. So I sent like 5 emails that were too much and a lot and created anxiety. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get creative and write Substacks. So I wrote like 7 Substacks on the airplane yesterday. I got like totally in the zone. But then I was texting Meg and Suhan because I was like, oh, Meg and Suhan could come up with ideas. And Meg Ryan had an awesome idea, which is that we're going to try to create a movement where at home at work, where we have people open up their living rooms.
Okay.
And you could bring like 20 or so women over and you have a like moderated conversation and you connect with one another. So I think we can build that with Work Like a Girl. So I'm very excited.
Totally.
So Work Like at Home at Work will be our first experiment for that. But then I think we could just have people bring each other into each other's homes.
Yeah.
Now that I say that, somebody's going to steal this idea. And
No.
you know.
That's actually a current event that we're going over today.
Oh, we are?
That's like one of like our topics.
Well, that's exciting. Okay.
Something similar to that.
Okay, great. So I have that as an idea.
So that's Monday. You're also talking to Substack people on Monday.
Oh, I'm excited. Christina at Substack. I love that. 5 o'clock. I'm already so excited for it.
Super excited
Can you add
for that.
Suhan to
I
that?
did.
Okay, you're so good. We have our Work Like a Girl meeting. That's great.
Yes.
I got a finance meeting.
And
What's
that's
this
Monday.
weekly something I can't see?
This one, the weekly performance review and pitch meeting.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a board meeting on Tuesday. This week, next week is actually going to suck.
Literally psycho.
Okay, sorry, I'm having a realization now.
Yeah,
Okay, so
I knew. I was like, I don't think you realize how crazy
yeah,
next week
terrible.
is.
Okay, so Tuesday, we're going to talk about media inventory. We're going to talk about
Initiative
workflows.
planning,
I have a board meeting.
Like 3.5 hours. Yeah, and then a board meeting.
Oh, shit. Do I need to go to this soiree?
No, you don't.
Okay.
But there is an event here for Publicis that is happening.
Okay, so we're having a Publicis event. I love that.
Yeah. I don't think you need to go to that, but
then it only gets worse on Wednesday. So then, or better, I guess. So we are going to...
You're talking at Buckwild at 10:30.
Great. Yeah.
Buckwild.
Buckwild.
You're talking trade customer experiences.
We have the Tiara launch. That's going to be so great.
Yep, that's later in the day.
So let's do a hot topic just while it's the 3 of us. So we're having this event. We're launching the pastry box with Tiara Bennett. Congratulations, Sarthik.
Thank you.
That's really exciting.
Thank
I'm very
you.
excited for you. I'm excited for, I started my Substack about Tiara the other night. And I was like, Tiara was wearing her Whitney Houston hair. And then I was like, can I say that?
I don't know if you should say that.
Why can't you? Is that a bad thing to say? I
I
love
don't
Whitney
know.
Houston.
I don't know if it's bad.
I wanted to look like Whitney Houston. So anyway, so so we're having this debate because we're having a bunch of influencers come to Food 52, and it's not that they're influencers, it's that they're fans of Tiara. And our social team wants to be like, have a pre-meet and be like, hey, can we collab? And, what are we agreeing to that you're going to post and that we're going to post? And I'm of the school that that's not cool.
Same.
I'm
I
like,
think
don't
so,
ask.
too.
It makes you look desperate.
Yeah.
But our social team is like, well, we want to get organized and do it. And we're having this debate.
I think internally organizing is a good thing, and then just having it.
Yeah, I don't think you can. I don't think like if you're having people over, that would be like
I think we
having
picked the
friends
person-
over that are cooler than you.
Yeah.
And being like, hey, can you bring something?
I think it also puts them on the back foot of.
And I think it
Yeah.
makes them feel like you're using them, where I'm
100%.
actually like, hey, how cool that this woman opened this bakery and she's making a run for it. And we're going to tell her story why. Like, let's just celebrate Tiara. Like,
I get the like point of view of like they want to be prepared and they want to be.
I think that's where it comes from. I
Yeah.
think they like are like,
I
hey,
get that 'cause
they don't
I'm
want to
that
get
way.
yelled at the end, being like, why didn't we
Yeah.
get a collab post?
Or
But
like get like 9 collab posts at the same time, and then it's like you have to pick and choose. Like you're picking like, oh, who has the most followers, and then it's like then it looks bad.
But
that
I don't
you're,
think
like,
you can. We
I don't
never
know.
did it at Barstool. We would never say that. We were like, hey, just come in
come and
and
do
be
it.
weird and do your thing. So
Also,
that's a debate.
I think right now, just how social media moves, it's just like the people who want to collab, they will collab.
That's what
Yeah.
I think. I'm like, you
So-
can't make people, let's not be inauthentic. Like,
Yeah.
and that's my whole thing. I'm
Fair.
like, let's not, if you don't want to collab, you think our office sucks. Like, all right, see you later. I don't think it sucks. And I think people will want to collab
Yeah.
if you make it cool and fun.
Exactly.
All right, so then I got a board meeting. Then we get to Thursday. I got Sheridan City.
So you're going to be at the mail-in.
Oh, so sorry. That's Wednesday is the pastry box
Wednesday's
event.
pastry box launch.
Thursday, I've got our own board. Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah.
And
the Creator 360.
Oh, the Creators 360, which I'm very excited about.
Which, yeah, I think the only people that can't join are Estro, but they're going to come the day before. So I'm going to try to see if you can.
They're coming here?
Yeah.
Were they coming to the Tiara thing?
No, but I can ask them if they
Definitely
want to.
invite them to that.
Yeah.
That's the flywheel we're talking about.
Yeah.
They're coming to the office?
Yeah.
Well, that's
They're
great.
coming to the office on
But their
Wednesday.
producer, they don't have to, I don't care if Estro comes on Thursday, but their producer has to speak to what is the world. You have a big content meeting today, I heard.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Or everybody does.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm actually so curious how that's going to go. I have a lot
What's
of-
Creator
I have a lot of
360?
opinions on this, but what?
What's Creator 360? If you want to speak on that a little bit.
Oh, do you know what it is?
No.
I fucking hope you know what it is. Okay. So Creator 360, I'm getting irritated and I'm trying to be a good citizen, leader, partner, mentor, friend, champion. And I think we have all these creators now that are kind of coming into our mix. And then we have the creators who are currently with us. And we want to launch this idea of the foundry and or the resident, whatever we call it, right? We have this group of faces and these group of personalities who are going to build these worlds. My concern is we're not thinking in a 360 degree about stuff, kind of to your point a little bit, Jessica Rose. So, for example, if it's Noah, and Noah's awesome, and he's a mixologist, and he's a test kitchen cook, or a test kitchen chef, I guess you would say. Is cook a bad word?
No.
Okay. You never fucking know these things.
No, if you're not.
Whitney
chef is a
Houston
specific
bad is
thing.
I don't know. But I think Sognick said it well the other day, which is we want to combine experts and have them be entertainers. And
Yes.
we're trying to entertain, educate, and inform our audience. And we need to build a world. And so what I'm not, I hate when people say I'm worried about, what I'm eager to see is who is Noah? What's Noah's world? Who is, before we got on here, Jessica's like, your work like a girl, people are crazy. Noah should have crazies. Who are Noah's crazies? And how does he speak to them? How does he connect with them? What does that look like in writing? What does that look like in social? What does that look like in mid-form? So what I would like, one thing I'm eager to see, I would have said worried about, is that our producers are thinking about the edit, but they're not thinking about who is Noah? Who is Estro? Who is Isabel? Who is Terrence? What's the IP that we're creating? Where does it live? What's the community we want to build? How do we listen to our community to inform what we create and do? And then we create this virtuous cycle. Does that make sense?
No, it makes total sense.
So I think you're going to hear about this today. So then I'm looking for a presentation on all the creators. So you'll have one for Tiara.
Got it.
And you would have one for me, like
Yes,
if we were doing
yes.
it, but we don't need to do that.
And they're all joining too. Tiara's joining too. So.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Lovely.
And it's going to be super interesting. Okay, then we get to Friday, and I'm just going to pass out.
Yeah. Well, before we get to Friday, you do have the partnership council kickoff.
Oh, we have
meeting
a
too.
partnership council.
Yeah.
Jeez, we have a lot. I'm
you
going to
can't
have
skip
to
over that.
like wear nice outfits and wash my hair next week.
On Thursday, you have to be done up.
Thursday, but Wednesday we're having people over. Like, what am I going to wear?
I don't know.
Anyway, so we are introducing a brand partner council, which I'm excited about. So Alexis, our CRO, and I are going to do that. So we have awesome brands on our council, and we're going to look to them for advice and perspective and to give them an early look on what we're doing. So it's a good idea before that meet. We need to have a meeting about that Monday so that we are understanding what we're sharing with people. Okay. Then I get to Friday.
Then you get to
Which
Friday.
is exactly how I'm going to feel next week. I'm like, when is it Friday? When is it Friday?
And then it kind of it tapers off, and you can kind of
Like,
collapse on
do
Friday.
an email. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jessica Rose.
Thanks, Erica.
Welcome back to work. It's Monday. We're here. Everybody's wearing florals. It's July. My friend Jody Carrington had a post this week about the challenges with managing in July, which I thought was so interesting. It's summer, everybody's sweaty, it's 90 degrees everywhere or raining, it's humid, everything feels oppressive. I think the mood at work right now is feeling, I don't know, are people feeling oppressed at work? I don't know. I think there's a mood happening at work. What's going on here at Food 52 and Schoolhouse? I just got back from Portland. We had an awesome, awesome trip to Portland. Our Schoolhouse team, and in particular our design team, is making incredible, beautiful, lovely, special quality things. I touched a bunch of bedding, and we looked at throw pillows, and we looked at furniture, and I sat on couches, and so many lights. Actually was so tacky. There was like a free giveaway bright green factory light. And I was like, I'll be taking this home on the plane. So I'm just really feeling very fond and smitten with our designs. I'm really excited about that. I'm in a deep hellhole of what we're calling the finance sprint, which is really a deep look at our forecasting and our budgeting and our processes and the data we have and the data we don't have. And I've been thinking a lot about it. It's a super frustrating process because when you have a company that was really two different companies, they were merged together, COVID happened, there was so much money spent, some of it in great places, some of it in terrible places. There's systems that haven't been updated in decades. It's really hard to understand. I don't know how to describe it in a good way, but it's hard to understand where we are at any given moment in time. And it creates a lot of insecurity for me. It creates a lot of anxiety, and it creates a lot of friction in the business. So I'm really trying to use this summer. I've been like having a lot of self-talk in the managing in July question of how am I going to use this summer to solve the foundational problems as best I can until we can create new systems and new structures and new ways of running the business. And it's a super hard challenge. It's in a world that I don't come from. It's with people who are doing their best to solve 100 different, problems and answer 1 million different questions every day. And then it's on a company that is half the size that it was a year ago. So it's like, we are in a difficult sprint, but I also think this is the best phase of a startup in a lot of ways of you don't have enough resources. There isn't enough hours in the day. Everything is urgent and you have no choice. It's like the back against the wall moment where you have to make a choice on How are you going to dig out of this? And what are you going to do first, second, and third? And how do you hold people accountable to do it? So that's kind of the world that I'm living in. It's also July, which is mid-year review time. We had our all hands this week. I thought we actually had a pretty good all hands. I thought it was great. Maybe I'm the only one who thinks that. The energy in Portland was awesome. I think the energy in New York was a little bit quiet.
It was hard to hear you on the screen.
Oh, it was?
Yeah,
Our
it was
AV
full volume,
blows.
but it was hard to hear you here.
Hard to hear everybody.
Yeah.
So was everybody just like tuned out on their phone?
No, I think everyone was just like more. I think it was more somber here because everyone was trying to stay quiet so they could hear the screen.
Okay, we have to fix that. I say this every quarter.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, we got 7,000 other problems. And I'm like, I hate the IV. So anyway, so we had our all hands. I liked it. We give out awards every quarter, just what we do in our all hands. We give out awards every quarter. We give a business update every quarter. I think we try to shove too much into an hour's worth of time. That is a perpetual problem in my life, which is I'm just trying to shove too much stuff in too little time. My eyes are bigger than my stomach, so I want to get better at that for our next all hands. But my biggest takeaway from being in Portland is we just have an awesome group of people and we have a really committed team, and we, need to keep it fun and we need to keep it focused. But if we can build on all the advantages we have in the brand and the business and the people and just do right for our customers and kind of pivot the focus to our customers, I think that's an awesome place to go. Other things I've been thinking about in terms of tips and tricks, I have, Work Like a Girl is a hive. I think we're about to pass 1,000 women on Work Like a Girl, which is amazing. It's been really fun. It's very alive. And so I asked Work Like a Girl for what tips and tricks they wanted this week. And one question that came up is also something that I'm struggling with is, how do you delegate when you know it will be easier and faster to do things yourself? And I think this is a really big problem for anybody at work of like, how do you know what to give up? And my issue is a little bit different, which is I tend to initiate a lot of stuff. I want to get deep into the business to answer a question. I think I end up sometimes creating more heartache or headache than good, but I also know if I don't do that, it won't get done. And so I'm trying to figure out, how do I fly at the right level? How do I create the right metrics of accountability? And then how do I let people go run and do things and come back with solutions versus me managing the solutions? Like Suhan, who we'll have on the podcast, was talking to me the other day. He's like, here's your problem. Your problem.
He is amazing.
He's amazing. He's the best.
So I sat down with him and
He's
he
the
broke
best.
me down the whole workflow that he's working on. I'm like, dude,
He's the best.
I'm so happy you're here.
He's the best. He's the best. I love Suhan. I can't wait for people to meet Suhan. Suhan also has a funny, interesting story, which Suhan's on how Suhan and I met is funny. Suhan is like Kismet. He was sent to me. But long story short, not Kismet. I used to have a woman who, Kismet.
No,
Do you
it is
remember?
Kismet.
She worked here. Yeah. What a great name.
Yeah.
Anyways, long story short, Suhan is like, you have like 400 meetings a week, and in every meeting you ask two questions. You ask what and when. And he's like, and as a result, I'm in the middle of all the business instead of saying how and why. And so that's a lot of what we're working on. And so I think to the question of how do you delegate, it's changing your thinking from what and when. It's setting up a system to be able to give you visibility and certainty and accountability from other people on the what and the when that frees your mind up to ask how and why, and to use that to evolve the business. So I don't know if that's very helpful. It's kind of esoteric, but I'm trying to work on that. And then I think, the hard thing about delegating is you have to trust other people, and that's the crux of it, which is it's hard to trust. We have like one of the most amazing people who works here who she just struggles to delegate. You can see it. She's a control freak. She's just like, I'm a control freak. I struggle to delegate. And I'm like, yeah, but if you actually delegated, you could open your head up and open your scope up to take on all new things. And I think July is a good moment, just bringing this full circle. July is a really great moment to kind of take stock of the year to date. What went well? What went wrong? What do you want to burn up in your campfire as Dr. Carrington would say, and what do you want to take with you? And then how do you create systems where if you're struggling to delegate and you really are reducing that into why, it's because you want results and you want them in a time or at a quality or at a standard that you have in your head. So you got to lay that out. My expectation is that this is going to be done by this time at this quality. And then you give people the chance to rise or fail or rise or sink on that. And I actually think that's a really important thing. Like, I'm struggling with this with parenting. It's like I've got 2 teenagers and I'm like, God, I want to do everything. I'm used to doing everything for you. I'm used to like worrying about you and making sure you don't get run over by a bus and you're safe and you're cared for and you're fed. And I'm like, teenagers should be able to do that. So I need to set what the expectations are and give them a little space to do it. Work is just the same. So that's my 2 cents.
Now work.
We're doing current events. First topic came from Work Like a Girl. This got shared around yesterday. It's from Scotty Scheffler. It's an interview that he did last week that talks about winning. And I thought what was really inspiring about it, and we'll share it up here, what was really inspiring about it is what he really talks about is that it's not winning. Winning lasts for a moment. It feels good for a second, but it's really the journey. It's really it's the endeavor, it's the quest to get to a new place, which is ultimately what's so fulfilling and what's so satisfying. And I keep thinking about this at work, which is everybody wants the win. Everybody wants to get to the top of the mountain. But I think what's true of most people, and certainly true of athletes and definitely true of businesses, is when you get to that mountain, then you're bored and you want to get to the next one. So finding a way to take pride and value in the journey and to take satisfaction and be fulfilled by it is really, really important. And I loved that he said that. I think a lot of times when you see people at the pinnacle of their career or at the pinnacle of their sport, it's all about the win, it's about the trophy, it's about the photo, it's about the moment. And in reality, it's who you are along the way and what you take with you from that. And I really loved that reminder. All right, so our next video is a generational knowledge questions. So we'll play it here.
Early 30s, just fuck up. You've got absolutely nothing to worry about. So I'm born in 95. Damn, makes me 30 this year. Holy fuck! The point of this video is that I know a lot of people in their early 30s, late 20s are really struggling right now. The reason being was because when you grew up in the 90s, early 2000s, you grew up in an era where the old way of living was still realistic. It's funny, we grew up in a completely different time to, I guess, like Gen Zers. Like, I was talking to my brother the other day, he's 20, and I told him about back in the day when petrol used to be less than $1.50. And the look on this guy's face, you would have thought I just told him, like, I used to fucking ride a horse and carriage to school. That achievable part of life. To Gen Z, it's a fictional idea to them. We're old enough that it not only was realistic, it was expected. But that's why a lot of us feel completely useless now, because we were brought up in that world with that world's expectations. But in today's reality, I'll give you an example. Boomers and older millennials got to play Monopoly for real. So say they're playing a fucking game Monopoly. They're eating, cheese and crackers and shit, laughing it up, buying up properties, chucking houses, all that shit. We're old enough that we were young enough to see that, but not old enough that we got to play. But we got to watch, and it looked fun as fuck. Gen Z were too young, they missed it. So to them, this fictional game Monopoly that they hear about, we may as well be talking about Bigfoot. To them, it never existed. We were old enough that we got to see it being played. And they told us while they were playing it, hey, here's the list of all the things that you do, and if you do them, you get to play as well. Only to do all that shit and then learn, actually, the list was just to keep us busy. They were never going to let us play anyways. When you're playing PlayStation with your little cousin and you just give them a fake controller and let them think that they're playing as well, when you know that they're not, that's what fucking boomers did to us. The point of this video is to say, if you're in your late 20s to early 30s, and you look at that list of all the things that we got told that were supposed to get us to a certain point in our life, just remember, the game has changed, the rules are very different now. So if you're not where you thought you were supposed to be because you filled out that list or you tried to approach your life in that way and it didn't end up where you're at, it's not because of anything you've done. The world is just different. We've just got to make our own game now.
That's kind of interesting. So this is my first time seeing it. I think there's a couple things about it, which is one is it's so funny where like the people who were born in the 90s, like I was born in the 70s. So I'm like, you know what I mean? Like the 70s people think the 90s people are, you know, soft and they don't know what they're doing or they're lazy or they're too emotional. The people in the 90s think the people in the 2010s are the same way. I do think the game has changed. I think the game has changed in terms of how people are raised, what the expectations are of you. I think the phone and the internet has just like melded everybody's face, and it's just kind of made these walking zombies. And I think it's really hard to it's an addiction. I think it's really hard to pull yourself out of that. I also think if you look at, I was saying this to someone yesterday on the airplane, like I can remember in college flying to London for $99.
That's wild.
$99. Like, it's amazing. Or you can remember, I remember in college, and gas was in Maine 99 cents. So it's like the cost of living has changed, upward mobility has changed, the rules have changed, and people have changed. And I think that's what's so hard. And I agree. I think one of the things that's so difficult for people is the expectations of the last group are put forth to the new group, but there's lack of empathy and understanding of what the new group comes to the game with. And also, I think this is where I don't blame Gen Z for being apathetic or not bought into the dream, because to this guy's point, the dream's kind of bullshit, you know?
It's a different dream, or
it's a different dream.
Game.
So I don't know. I'm curious. I think one thing we should talk about is what is that next dream? But I don't know what that is.
That's a good question.
Your kids.
What's that?
You should ask your kids.
Oh, sorry. I think the dream is to be an influencer.
Oh, yeah.
That's actually the dream.
Now work.
So we're here with Chelsea. We're doing generational knowledge. Or do you want to describe what you do?
Oof. How much time do you have?
Oh, tell me. How much do you have to say?
I help oversee our social content production and publishing in a sentence. Yeah.
And how long have you worked here?
Just about a year.
Just about a year?
1 year anniversary is in like a couple weeks.
Okay, that's
crazy.
awesome.
Yeah.
And how old are you?
I'm 26.
Am I allowed to ask that? I'm asking it. Okay, you're 26.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's our generational knowledge question? So what is the question?
Being a young manager.
Oh, sorry. Okay, you told me that. All right, so the question for you, Chelsea, is you are a manager of one person?
Yeah.
Or,
1 and 2 halves. One
and 2 interns. Okay, let's say 3 people. Okay, so let's say this is your first time managing people.
Yeah.
And what are you learning?
What am I learning?
How do you
delegate.
Okay, how are you approaching managing people?
I guess to start, I thought about like the past managers I've had, what I found to be effective and successful, like where I needed support and didn't get it, or where like I was over, I guess, managed.
Okay.
I tried to take that into everything I'm doing with Emma, who is my direct report
Emma's
at the
awesome
time.
though.
Emma's awesome. She makes it easy, which is great. She's very self-sufficient in a lot of ways, which has made my life a lot easier.
Do you do regular one-on-ones with your people?
Every like 2 weeks, I'd say. But we also sit next to each other, so it's kind of like
you talk all the time.
We talk all the time, and it was like that with my previous manager. Like we had one-on-ones scheduled that we canceled every week because we were like we just
are caught up.
Yeah, we don't know what's going on. But I do try to check in with her at least once a week, just like how are you? Is everything okay? Like where can I help you?
And how do you set goals for your people?
With a lot of spreadsheets, I'd say. So I feel like we have like internal deadlines between the two of us. We're like, all right, we want to get this done by this day. Like, where are we with the talent search we were doing? Like, we would check in with each other every couple of days. Like, all right, where are we on this? Like, have we heard anything? What can we do? Like, what do we still need?
How do you think you could be a better manager? Where do you want to grow as a manager?
Oh, that's a great question. Lots of ways. I'm learning. Obviously, it's my first time. I'm definitely not doing it perfectly.
Do you think about
foremost, yeah.
Okay, you think about that. Put that in the back of your head, and then I'm going to ask you a different question. Or do you want to answer?
Yes, a little bit.
Okay.
I think because like my daily tasks, assignments, etc., have like kind of taken me a little bit out of touch sometimes with the day-to-day of what Emma's doing, getting like a little bit more close with her on like, what that looks like. Yeah. I think I'm in meetings a lot more than I used to be, which like sometimes makes it hard to know like Sog just walked in. He's like, have you seen like
Blah, blah,
have
blah
you been on
happened.
Twitter? I'm like, wait, I haven't been on Twitter in 2
Yes.
hours, so no, I haven't.
Yeah.
So like getting a little bit tighter on like that kind of stuff because that is so important to what we're doing. And making like I know that I'm very chronically online, like on Twitter and stuff where that breaks.
Really, Twitter
where-
is like your go-to?
It's my drug of choice, absolutely.
Really?
I've been on Twitter more than half my life. I threw a party for my 10-year anniversary of my Twitter account where I made everyone dress up as memes of the last 10 years.
Oh my
my
gosh,
God,
that's
that's
so
amazing.
great.
Yeah.
We were just having a conversation. That's rare.
I've been on it
It's
since
because you're a
2009.
sports fan?
Maybe. But also pop culture, like everything just happens there. Everything happens.
Still.
Like Instagram probably is not yet talking about this CEO HR affair at
Oh,
Astronaut
the
Camp.
Astronaut. What is the deal? I just saw that.
They were like exposed at the Coldplay concert. They were put
What
on.
is Astronaut?
I have no idea, but I'm invested now. I'm gonna find out when I go back to my desk.
That's so funny. I just saw it too, and I just was
I'm
having
gonna
a
like
little
learn what their stock price is
Yeah.
today, probably. But like being tight on that like zeitgeisty stuff is so important
Yeah.
because a big element of what we're doing on social now is super reactive
To be
and super
relevant.
viral,
Yeah.
and like making sure like we're on the same pages about what those conversations look like and how we want to present those to our audience. I think is very very important. And because like we kind of have a gap there in terms of like, what we each consume and what our
you
perspectives
kind
are
of
on that.
overlap.
Yeah, that's where I
okay.
think
So
we
how
can-
do you give tough feedback to Emma, or do you not?
I don't know that any of my feedback has been particularly tough.
Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
It's not because I'm being soft with her. It's
Okay.
because like I don't think she takes anything personally, which is great.
Okay.
And like I think we both really respect each other's opinions and
Okay.
like work well together in that way. Like if she's like, "How do you feel about posting this?" Like I don't feel any type of way about being no. Or
Okay.
like if she presents something to me that I've not thought about, I'm like, "Oh yeah, like show me what that would look like."
Yeah.
And like there's like a really healthy like communication lane between the two of us.
And
there
do
way.
you hang out outside of work?
We actually unintentionally biked together to Brooklyn over the weekend because
Okay.
we were both biking to Brooklyn and like round up at the same red light, and we
Oh, that's so funny.
biked over the bridge together. But we haven't really. We've gone to like group dinners as a team,
Yeah.
but we haven't like planned anything.
Do you
so to
think about
speak.
the boundaries you want with, how do you think about that? Because it's funny, I'm in the middle of writing a Substack right now, and I'm calling it, I've re-entered the sisterhood. Because in Portland, it's mostly women. It's a lot of women, and it's very nurturing. It's like Shauna's dating life and Hallie's baby. And then I was like, gosh, it's been, at Barstool, it was like everyone was a terrorist. And you just didn't ask about what people did outside of work, mostly because you didn't want to know. But how do you think about that? Because your age, me managing you and I are doing the same thing. So I
Totally.
don't, we're not going to hang out, although I'd love to hang out with
Yeah.
you sometime, not at a Yankees game. But how do you think about that?
It hasn't come up, but like I am open to it.
Yeah.
Because like, we are friends. Everyone here, like this company is so young. Everyone here is my friend, whether
Yeah.
they want to be or not.
They are coming to the 20-year Twitter party.
Yeah, like everyone will get the invite, and when I host a talent show in 2 months, everyone can come. But like with my past managers, like we've had that same rapport because I've actually almost only worked with young people. I've only worked in environments like this one, but it's something I've thought about more. Like now that I have like a direct report, like I was super open with my manager, and like we were just friends, and we would hang out all the time. We still do, but there is like a second guessing of like, is this an HR
appropriate?
violation? Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know.
Yep.
And like the questions I will ask her, like maybe I will hold back. Like if she wants to tell me other things, that's great, but I will not like,
You're not
I'm not going to
reciprocating.
overstep.
Yep.
I'm not going to
Yep.
overstep in that way.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right. Those were my questions. Do you have questions for me?
I guess when did you start managing people?
Probably when I was like 25, 24, so about your age.
What was like your biggest misstep?
It's so funny. I was just thinking about this. So my one is I was very friendly with the people I managed. I worked at an ad agency, and I created this thing called Wine Lockdown, where every Wednesday people would send so much wine to us. They would just send booze, and I would just like Wednesdays at 4:00, we would just drink in my office, which in hindsight is like probably not appropriate. So I would say most everything was a mess up, but I do think there's something when you're young and figuring things out, and you're at this high energy, high curiosity, high potential place in your life and work, that it's great to have camaraderie with other people, because there is so much stimulation. There's so much you want to do. And it's fun. Like you should
Yeah.
have fun at work. Like I wrote a Substack today on it. I'm like, you should have fun at work. Like work should be fun. So I think the mistakes I made were, it was really inappropriate and it was really it was really social, if it makes sense. And
Yeah.
I at points felt like, oh, my whole identity, all my friendships are wrapped up in this job. Everything I do all weekend is wrapped up in this job. And that can create a lot of confusing feelings, I think, and kind of like, where does stuff begin and where does stuff end?
Totally. I do think there's like a definitely a value here in like having friendships with like the people we're collaborating with, because so much of what we're doing is creative. And so I think like towing that line is a tricky place, but there is
There's a really
huge
big
value
benefit.
in
It's
it too.
having a shared language. You know, having a shared language with people you work with makes things much, much, much easier. I agree with that.
Yeah.
All right.
Amazing.
Thanks, Chelsea. See
Hey,
you later.
anytime.
Now work.
So now we're on to Strategery. Our Strategery phrase today is 110%. So when I think about somebody saying giving 110%, I think of like a white man in his late 40s, early 50s, who probably wears a vest. And they're like, come on, son, give like 110%. So obviously 110% means give more than your best, give as much as you possibly can, go the extra mile, do the extra thing. I don't know if giving a zillennial a percentage target for effort actually resonates. Like, I'm a big believer in the 110%. I think the best people give 190%, 3,000%, like insert the number here. But I think it's one of those old school corporate sayings, which really doesn't probably have the resonance to a new audience at work. The reason I say that is just coming off the Rashad Tabakawala stuff is like, people don't want to have a boss anymore. Like they want work, they don't want a job. And so giving 110%, the more people I observe in their 20s and 30s, they want that to come from within. Like they're going to decide what gets 110%. And I think the question for managers and motivators and leaders is, how do you get inside of somebody and inspire them to want to go all out because they feel passionate about it? And I think a lot of people could probably say that's bullshit about work, or that's frustrating about work, or that's shitty about work. I think that's just the reality of where we are at work.
Now work.
And I think that's it. So thank you for listening to today's episode. We're very grateful. We will be back here next week. Big thanks to Chelsea and Jessica Rose and the Floral Brigade. And thank you for listening. Give us a subscribe, give us a rating, give us a review. Join Work Like a Girl if you can, and we'll go from there.